welcome you. Thank you for being present. If you feel led to come to this decision, then you are meant to be here. So the complaints I have filed against ACS are finally starting to be taken seriously. Beautiful. However, I want to get much deeper because I'm starting to pick up some people connected to ACS are connected to child sex trafficking rings, okay? So if you feel led to watch this at any point in time, you need to know what's going on and you need to know why it's important for you to fight for your child, okay? Because even if your child or children do, if aren't in the ACS system, there's a lot of things set up so that your child or children can be put into the ACS system. What I'm picking up on is if your child or children has been in the ACS system, they're more than likely targeted for sex trafficking. Okay? All right. Um, all right. So this is important for you guys to know, even if you guys never have an interaction with ACS. And we're gonna do some prayers for your children, and for parents who are going to protect their children at all costs. Um, you want to know this stuff because child sex trafficking is just as true in blue. Um, the government literally does have some sectors where they have people uh, summon lust entities to children so molestation can happen. It's easier to sex traffic a child who's had a sexual trauma, okay? And well, here we go. We're using the beautiful cat tarot. Cat tarot gets straight into it. All right. But this is stuff you need to know because if you are going to be bringing a child into this world, you want to be able to teach your child how to protect themselves from a place of love and not a place of fear. When you tell children about what's going on in the world, you want them to understand, don't be afraid of what I'm telling you. Just be mindful, you know, things like that. I'm going to cleanse myself in the cards, and then we're going to do a prayer for all the children and the parents, healing on a very global scale level, on a cosmic level, because abundance is here for everybody. Anybody who feels that the only way they can get abundance is if they exploit innocents that come into this world, and if they feel they can take away parents' rights on protecting their children, You know, you have some parents who have lost their children um, through ACS because they wanted to homeschool their kids. You know what I'm saying? And that was the cover up too. You know, they probably told the parent, well, we just want to make sure the child is getting the proper, uh, the right education. But education is different for everybody. Some people want to be homeschooled. Some people want to be, you know, surrounded by other people. Children, children's rights have been stripped away for quite a long time, and it's time to put an end to that. Okay, I'm here to be a spokesperson for children. You know, my daughter doesn't even like getting changed anymore. She at ACS visit yesterday, she didn't even feel comfortable crying to express her fear of being changed. All she had was this fear, this look of extreme fear on her face. And that's because her sadistic ass father been like, you know, when they ACS ain't involved, I'ma do to you what was done to me. And this is the thing, I be picking up on this energy. You know, I be doing what I need to do. I be basically knocking on door at the door, letting them know, hey, watch out for my child. Miss Paula Espanian, Miss Lynette Hall, and their superior supervisor been ignoring me. I finally got a call from ACS today where they're gonna be doing some more thorough research. You know, I've been doing research on my own. I've been working with people so we can get more research out here. And my daughter's father is a level 7 molester, the one who ain't gonna do shit to the child until all the parties are removed. And the fact is, it's been so easy for him to create fear psychosis in my daughter who's going on 1 because he knows that the women that's working at ACS don't give a good goddamn about these kids. Now, this ain't for everybody. This could be for a few people that's working at the ACS. But, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some kind, warm-hearted people in ACS, but the women I've had the pleasure of working with don't give a good goddamn about these kids. All they care about is their reputation. You know, Miss Lynette Hall, she got herself involved into some shit. She's like, I don't know how it got this far. Well, because you went into a situation blindly, you're getting scapegoated by some pretty faced women who have positions of authority and they convince you that they're more powerful than you. So because you fell for it, well, you get scapegoated. Okay? Let's and so not all people in ACS ain't shit. I just have had the pleasure of working with some ain't shit people who I'm feeling some of them connected to the sex trafficking ring with children. And you need to know how to protect your children. You watching it? We in the age of Aquarius where this darkness is being exposed. This darkness ain't nothing new. It's just people been afraid to talk about it because before we didn't even know how to spiritually protect ourselves. Okay? I've been targeted for sex trafficking about 3 damn near times now, okay? And one of the people that targeted me for sex trafficking ended up going to the hospital because he drank some bleach. And the whole motherfucking neighborhood knew about it. I just happened to spirit led me back around that way. I was afraid to pass through because I remember how him and a few other people and the police officers in Raleigh, North Carolina, were like looking for me after I had information about their sex trafficking ring, and I happened to be walking through that aspect of life again. I was afraid, and then Spirit revealed to me, I don't know what happened, but such and such drank some bleach. Now that just says to me, you know, those who been planning and plotting on me for a long time, if somebody 10-10, a cycle just ended. If somebody been plotting on me for a less time than y'all and they drink some bleach and they had connections to sex trafficking, rings, and they got abandoned, what you think gonna happen to you? Let's see what this 10-10 message is. Four of Cups, Ace of Wands, and I believe this is 9 of Coins. But let me make sure, because these are some very meaty messages. Okay, you don't play with cat tarot. Okay, if you don't have true intentions when you get the cat tarot deck, you will burn out. Because this has you want to take naps a lot. Like I'm literally I've been sleeping real good today, y'all. So 4 of Cups. Ever wonder if you're legitimately bored and restless, or if you should be content with what's in front of you? What's this cup? What's in it? Should I take it? What about that one? So many options. Love can be annoying. No wonder you're disillusioned. You've been hurt in the past. No high standards of yours. Whether they're for self-protection or you're just being finicky. If you don't lower the bar a little, you might miss something right in front of you. Open up, take a risk. So with this saying, if you're watching this, anyone who has been creating illusions for you, that struggle love is the foundation of connection. They're in a very defensive energy where they don't feel safe. Yeah, they don't feel safe at all. And some of them are watching you because they're like, how is it you're being so vulnerable and authentic? And the same things, the same triggers that we created within you, the same the trauma bonds we form within you, you seem happy. How is it you're openly sharing about it? These people are realizing they are so disconnected from themselves and they're literally running out of time. These people are losing a lot of resources. And when they're being offered opportunities, they're so afraid that there's a catch next to it. And this is what they obviously did to you guys. They're seeking sympathy from anyone who will listen. Let's look at the Ace of Wands. That's interesting. And so I'm starting to put together, there's layers and layers to justice. I know I've had 30 plus years of injustice happen to me. So I'm starting to see that it's layers to it. It's not just, oh my gosh, we're going to give your children back. It's more so, I need to understand what took place so that I don't, walk into a trap for it to happen again. I'm realizing it's safe for me to love. It's safe for me to let my children know it's safe for them to be themselves authentically. But I need to understand the layers. So, when my children are with me, if there's things they have experienced, and when they're talking to me about it, I need to be able to sit here and just be able to listen and be present with them. Okay. And to be able to understand the different layers so I can, give a whole brand new perspective that can help them release trauma bonds. But I'm noticing as parents, we can't take the trauma bonds away from our children. We can give them knowledge. We can heal them. We can do distance healing too. But we can give them a new perspective, and that's love. Anyone who says, well, you need this and that to have a healthy relationship with your children, if you don't have it, you're not going to have a good relationship with your child. That's really someone, they don't have a good relationship with their own child. And it's not that they're trying to mislead you, but if they pushing their agenda on you, they're trying to mislead you. It's just they really don't exactly know how to develop a foundation. So this is where you have to get to a point where you have good, healthy boundaries, and you let people know. It's, look, how you parent is how you parent. How I parent is how I parent. Now, the way my child likes to be parented and needs to be parented is unique from the siblings and stuff. I don't have to have a air of competition the way I take care of my children. I don't have to downplay my kids to feel better about myself because I feel beat down by the outside world. And this is where mindfulness parenting is going to be taking over 2022. Because anyone who is not a mindful parent, they're not going to have a good relationship with their kids. I remember my mother would abuse me. She was highly sadistic. And, you know, to cover up the abuse, she would buy us clothes that seemed to be top notch. And when we would take pictures, she would love to get next to me in pictures. And this was after she had stirred up some kind of competition between me and my sister. And this is where I would just be getting so emotionally and mentally exhausted because she was just a pain in the ass, and she still is. Yeah. My mother would love, she would be like, I want to, let's take a picture. And she would love to just be close to me and touching me with her nasty ass fingers and shit. And I wouldn't really understand what was taking place. She was basically covering up the fact that she was an abusive ass, molesting type, sadistic person. Okay? So this is where we parents are going to have to stand our ground and change the law for our children. ACS don't got no boundaries with you. You parent different and you a better parent. You better have a public fucking platform with that shit. Because you could be a good parent and have some jealous ass people working in the ACS and they will fuck with your shit, baby. They're like, well, I'm jealous, I'm triggered, and I don't want this person to have to spend time with their kids. All this little itty bitty stuff leads up to organized crime. Okay? We got Ace of Wands. Beware of letting ambition cause you to reach, uh, cause you to reach for too much. New ventures can promise wonderful, colorful, creative work, but there is danger of becoming impatient, overwhelmed, overbearing. So what's ending is people that went above and beyond to cause you anguish. They're starting to realize they can't keep up that image that they created to the outside world. That oh shit, I want it to appear big and bad, but I'm starting to see there's a price that comes with it. I I'm feeling like people in the child sex trafficking ring, a lot of shit is coming to a pause, a halt right now. They start to realize we need to do cover up. We need to do cover up. We need to do cover up. Why is it that what we had working before ain't working now? ACS Updates, child sex trafficking ring connection. So people who did not take the chance to, who didn't take the chance to heal their childhood trauma spiraled out of control. A lot of toxic shit formed from people who felt the only way to get back at the predators that they dealt with in their childhood was to become worse of predators than their people in their childhood. So what's ending is this false ideology that they're almighty and powerful and they can get away with anything. Because cover up after cover up is having them lose a lot of finances. Okay? I keep it 100 around here. Not only that, there's turf wars going on within the organization. So the ones that are in power know that they have a high chance of getting caught. The ones that want their position don't know what's going on. So the one that's in power is acting like, okay, I know you want my position, but I know what's going on. So I'm going to let you think that you took my position. Now, the person that wants their spot is like, oh, shit, trying to set the person up that's in charge to get killed. So now the person in charge is trying to figure out how to save their life while throwing whoever's trying to take their place of power under the bus. They basically trying to do a cover up. They're trying to basically scapegoat the person who wants them, but keeping the person close means they might be losing their physical life. There's no sense of safety here. But the person that's like, I'm gonna take your position, don't understand that you're basically walking into a trap to basically take the lead and take the fall for whatever's been taking place. All the while, the person that's like, you know what, I'm gonna be able to save my own ass and put all the blame on this person. They gonna end up dying anyway. The whole sex trafficking ring about to go down. All right. ACS updates and child sex trafficking ring. They're closely related. Okay, baby. Now we also have the nine of pentacles. No, eight of pentacles. Let me make sure. I don't want to. No, eight of pentacles. It's reward time. Rest assured, the universe sees your commitment and rewards you with a giant plate of delicious anchovies. Enjoy them, but don't get too comfortable with your abilities. Openness to acquiring new skills will make you even more successful in the future. So what I'm picking up from here is you can learn something from your adversity. You can learn that if someone got so comfortable with leisure and pleasure and abundance that, you know, they started celebrating with the wrong people. They started showing their hands to the wrong people. They started allowing lavishness to override their intuition. Because intuition will tell you with all this abundance that you bring in, you got in you. Okay? And a crime lord would say, well, I'm paying these people good every month, every week even. They not gonna turn on me. No. Anybody who is experiencing good money but starts to see that somebody else with better money than them is experiencing leisures and pleasures that the person in charge and said, you can't experience these pleasures. You can't experience these leisures. They aren't grateful for what they have. So what they do have is just like, I'm not happy with. Now, what if, I'm picking up on a scenario of a crime, some family crime, where the person paying a security guard, like the security guard's wife, maybe the security guard listened to their intuition and decided you need money, so let me go take this job. But the security guard didn't have the backbone they needed for this, position. They had enough to protect this crime person, but they didn't have enough to say, this is my wife. Well, during the function, I'm picking up, somebody got too comfortable with the reward and bought their wife around, not realizing that they boss took an interest in their wife. And eventually, shortly after, the wife left the security. The person that's supposed to be protecting the person, right? Started a whole new life with the person. And the person who was protecting the boss, I'm picking up, got so comfortable being around their boss because their boss seemed to like women with no self respect. You know what I'm saying? The yeah, yeah, you know. But then when their wife came around, this was a woman that could, lead a whole drug mule. You know what I'm saying? She could become Queen Pen. You know what I'm saying? And whoever they boss was saw her potential. Everybody saw the man, saw the wife's potential. And the security guard I'm picking up, he didn't want people to see the potential. So he tried to keep the wife, in the house with the kids. Only for the boss to be like, oh shit, you gonna help take me to the next level. Only for the wife to leave the security guard and take the kids, which was not very smart, to get with the crime boss, right? Only to take out the crime boss and become head of some major shit to protect her children. Only that karma gonna, catch up with her because what she got into is hurting a lot of people. Got the universe off balance. So what I'm picking up here is what you can learn from your adversity. Don't get too comfortable. Enjoy your fruits of your labor. And when your soul says you got some inner work to do, listen and take heed because this is going to be your protection. The bottom of the deck energy is death. Either change with change or have a literal death. Because you got to know how to protect yourself energetically up in these streets, baby. And one would say, you're putting out some pretty heavy information on. This information that anybody's privy to, you can walk up and down the street and clearly see what the fuck I'm talking about. What happens when you share information that the universe told you to put out, right? This is where a lot of tarot readers are starting to fall short, and some aren't. They're putting out what they feel led to put out, which is wonderful. But sources put out like tests for every tarot reader to put out certain information that only they can deliver. And I have come across some really high vibrational tarot readers who when they deliver their messages, like you get insights into different ways to overcome different things, right? So something's changing. So what happens when you put out the messages that spirit is telling you to put out? Messages that are clouded by illusions of fear-based magic, so that a whole bunch of high-level dark sorcery can take place on a global scale. What happens when you put out these messages? For some people, they be getting nervous for me, like, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. Nah, I live a long life, a happy life. Mm. All right. I want to make sure I get this card right. With the swords. So I'm starting to understand the swords are the triangle, mental triangle, magic, back and show y'all. Five of Swords. Surrender doesn't mean relax. It means defeat and loss. So, upright. Your position at the forefront. seemingly larger and more powerful than the task behind you. Speaks to the growth and healing you've achieved. That said, you can't ignore that back turn. There's discord there too. You may be holding on to bad habits, doubts, and fears. If you can let go and compromise a little, even more progress lies ahead. It won't be easy, but the destruction and conflict can be resolved. So, what this says here is, when you start putting out information that spirit tells you to, you're going to have a fight. It's going to be a fight for your life. But this is where healing takes place. You know, you have some people who show, okay, so I exposed a couple of people here and there, blase, 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 blase. What do I do? What do I do? Let me go on a run. Let me get some money. No, literally, you can protect yourself by doing shadow work. This creates the energetic field because most of the time, anyone who's in organized crime is doing some dark level, magicianary type shit. And the only way they'll be able to track you energetically is if you are neglecting to do shadow work. You're going to be asked to face your biggest fears, your biggest doubts, bad habits. And one of my biggest fears is I used to have all this knowledge of a whole lot of dark shit taking place in the world. And I was afraid that if I didn't share it, it would spill over into my parenting. As in, I would attract certain people to harm me and my children. For the longest, I've been able to pick up on dark ass shit that comes with being an Aquarius and the age of Aquarius. You naturally pick up on dark shit. And I grew up around people who told me to be, don't speak the truth. Bad things will happen to you. We'll do it to you if you speak the truth. So for the longest, I was afraid. I was afraid to speak up about the abuse. I had people calling me fucking crazy. I was afraid to just speak the truth. But then I started noticing everybody I'm concerned, like connected to, you know, these levels of abuse can rise. And I started seeing what the world can be like if we don't heal. What the world can result to if we don't heal. Organized crime. Organized crime was some wounded inner child who decided, you know what? I'm not going to take the time to heal. I'm just literally going to I'm going to get back at my abuser. I came here to help people put an end to abuse. Now, what happens when you come here to put an end to abuse? You trigger a lot of abusers. So that means when you answer the call of the universe to put an end to certain things that is really throwing the universe off balance, you're going to be blessed and rewarded with a lot of things. But you have to maintain that discipline to continuously look deeper within yourself. Because where you can get caught slipping is if you get so comfortable with the blessings you have, no one's going to attack you when you're being blessed. They're going to try to see, okay, let me see what, when such and such gets too comfortable, how do they react? How do they act? You got high level psychology masters in organized crime. But the thing that gets them off is because they let their ego say, I know what's best because this was always been happening. Okay? So this is a time where in between where you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, you want to, you know, understand that protection is energetic. Releasing fears is protection. It sends it back to whatever trauma bond was formed within you goes back to the sender. But a lot of trauma bonds have been formed from generations and generations and generations of trauma, and it sends it straight back to the sender. So me, you know, just simply talking about the sex trafficking ring sends a trauma back to people who have of all centuries who have dealt with involving people in sex trafficking. We talking about child abuse, send a seed of fear straight back to predators who abuse children. Now, what happens when you have more people talk about I was abused, I was almost sex trafficked, I was part of sex trafficking, I experienced some things. What happens is this starts breaking the trauma, this starts returning that trauma bond to the people who created it. And these people start experiencing severe delays in business. Their worst nightmare comes true because it's not that they're afraid of losing money and losing power. They're afraid of the same thing happening to them that happened to the people they subjected this shit to. That's why you'll hear about people being looked for and hit men looking for them and shit like that. No, the reality of this whole thing is people in organized crime do not want to be subjected to what they put others through. They have fun subjecting people to torture and pain because it was a power play to the people that they were reigning over at that point in time. They wanted those people to know, I'm paying you to protect me. But the truth is, I'm paying you so this can be a power move so I can have more people backing me up because if, my enemies know what my weakness is, my fears, my doubts, and things like that. We're going to do a three-pop pick a card. What is the weakness? What is the fears of your enemies? Because you need to know this. They don't want the people that they're working with to know I'm afraid of being hurt. And I'm afraid you can hurt me too. And I know if the right opportunity comes, you might hurt me. Shit, I don't want you to hurt me. Shit. So I'm gonna pay you more money than the people you would work for that would pay you. And I'm gonna make you feel as if you step out of line, I'm gonna take your life and take it in front of other people to scare. This increases the sense of war. And all this stems from someone willingly choosing not to heal trauma. A lot of it's sexual trauma. Okay? So we're gonna get into we're gonna do a three-top pick a card too. What is your enemy's fear? Cat magic gets really deep into overcoming your fears. Yes, it does. So, and we'll also cover what your fear is because you need to know what your biggest fear is as well. We'll do one card because these are meaty cards. Okay. What is your fear and what's your enemy's fear? You need to know what your fear is, and before you can understand what your enemy's fear is. You need to understand what your fear is. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the Two of Swords. It's a meaty card. I'm so grateful for it. Like I only got to. I feel like open wide, a difficult decision looms large. You may be baffled by a situation around you, biased in your view of it. The Two of Swords asks you to stretch, to broaden your horizons, and at least try to see things from an objective point of view. Is it fear that's keeping you from seeing things clearly? Perspective is key. So what happens when you start speaking hard, brutal truth? You're going to start to realize that you are going to be in charge of your own life. It's very beautiful. You're going to realize the importance of self-mastery because you're going to realize had you not spoken your truth and had you just sat back and watched, you might end up in a situation where you're like, are you serious? This is happening to me? Me? No. Right? But then when you start to understand that when you're able to self-master and be like, look, the decisions I make is going to impact me and my legacy, and difficulty is naturally a part of life. So I'm going to learn how to look at this by releasing fears, by facing my fears, you gonna become a self-master. You're gonna be highly respected, sometimes highly targeted. Because anyone who's in some kind of organized crime, they're gonna be like competition. But the thing is, they're not looking at the fact that they already got someone gunning on them. So while you will be doing your shadow work, learning what your fears is, facing all that shit, you gonna be basically able to relax and chill and be so tapped and tuned into your intuition that these people are gonna miss the fact that the same person that they got protecting them will be the same one to take them out. And then that person is going to be scapegoated and the whole organization will be taken out. And all you're gonna be doing is chilling and relaxing from your home, and you and your children will be safe. And somebody who had all the money to pay somebody gonna be like, oh shit, how is it we sent all this money out and we normally can find certain people, but we weren't able to find a certain person? Well, because I do shadow work. And with the lovers, it just shows my ex been trying to pay people to shut me up by doing some fucked up shit. And we're gonna get um actually this is my form of prayer. You know, when I speak the truth, this is prayer for me. Prayer for me is just a lot of different things. I have a brown candle going. I have a purple candle going. And I just feel safe and secure in my own skin. I feel like I'm back to the beginning where I came into this world curious, and now I'm finding out how dark the world can be, and I'm like, you know what? There's no need to be afraid of it. Talk about it. It's time to break the status quo. You live in a box in the status quo, these organized crime, criminal organizations, they'll target you. But if you live outside the status quo, they'll try to get you to join. Okay? And if you a free sovereign being, they not gonna fuck with you because you're too angelically protected. They may be like, we're gonna try to send such and such this way, but after a point in time, when they start losing people and people start getting sick and people start mysteriously dying, they gonna start to say you kind of like the boogeyman. Think about it. Like you have urban legends, right? Let's say somebody's super highly magical, right? Like there's a bridge. There's a bridge that's highly magical, okay? And all it needs is for somebody to understand the truth about it, right? And most people are too afraid to actually take the time to go because they're so shrouded with fear. And so maybe this is a path that's not taken a lot, right? But somebody's like, I like haunted things. I do like haunted things, y'all. Boy, I walk into a haunted house if I could right now. You got look, if it's haunted, if it got some kind of like, if like I would be the next person to like collect a whole bunch of haunted shit, okay, and alchemize that bitch. All right. Um, but yeah, I'm the type of person to go to the bridge, like, hey, you just need someone to talk to, right? And I'm not doing this so I can like look how much I can alchemize shit. I'm just going to see like if I felt led to go to it. You've been needing somebody to talk to. I've been a little lonely myself, and I ain't been trying to give into no crazy ass toxic bullshit out up in this bitch. But I see you need somebody to talk to, and to uncover there's a spirit at the bridge, and the spirit feels safe because you like I'm not gonna judge you, and the spirit tells you a story, and you uncover the bridge ain't so bad at all. It was just a ghost who was hurting, but because most people won't understand, well, they just needed somebody to talk to, even though the bridge wouldn't really be haunted. They still want to go to the bridge because other people said, you know what happened to such and such, blah blah blah. You get what I'm saying? So the more you still do what you do, and spirit says, hey, answer the call, you protected. You gonna be listed as an urban legend. I can tell you 23% of the people that's targeting me are physically dead right now. The lovers. The lovers bask in the sunshine of perfect harmony on a day undarkened by clouds. Love, like sunshine, can scorch if you stand still too long. Burning love is exactly that, an ember's required tending. Remember that this card is often associated with choices. Yes, no, stay, go. Are your ears burning or are your feet getting cold? So what this is telling me is that when you start to answer the call of spirit, you're going to tap into a lot of spiritual abilities, and you may have some people try to energetically mesh with you so that they can take your spiritual ability and make it so that your energetic field is not as strong as it normally is, you know. And this is spirit just simply saying your time will come when you meet somebody who's for you. But until then, don't be afraid. You and your loved ones are safe. The perfect person for you is here, just not right now. And you're gonna be asked to like deal with like emotions that can make you really truly uncomfortable. Like one of the most uncomfortablest emotions that I'm, understanding from a new perspective is loneliness. Loneliness to me doesn't look like what I once thought it was, where what are people going to think about me if I'm seen as being single again? What are people going to think about me if I'm a single mom? Loneliness for me now is more so like me feeling disconnected from myself. So when I start feeling disconnected from myself, I start asking myself, my soul, what is it you want me to learn about you? Because obviously I'm feeling lonely because there's an old belief system I'm playing in my head about who I think I am, but in reality, that's not me at all. What's the belief system? One of the belief systems I've been having is that like no one's gonna listen to me. Let me just talk surface level, since I've met a whole lot of surface level people, but then I've come to discover, no, let me be 100 with myself and those around me. If they listen, great. If they don't, great. But I'm still gonna speak my truth. So when you do answer the call, you may have some honeypots come. I met a couple of honeypots who tried to get me sex trafficked like nobody's business, baby. And one could say, well, do you have you given up on love? No, I believe wholeheartedly in love, because what they showed me was that they don't know love, and because out of fear of them being treated like how they treated others, they're willing to do anything. Like imagine if you were Hitler and you got a whole bunch of people set up to be executed, right? And imagine if you're an evil dictator in general, and you don't even trust the people that supposedly, while you in power, you don't even trust the people that's, like doing martial law for you. You the type of tyrant where you may not want to, but you may dress in rags so no one will know how rich you are, so that you can escape and be by yourself and hide in some foreign land nobody knows you to be, thinking nobody will ever find you, and then all of a sudden somebody finds you and you taken out, not understanding how they find me, because I nobody knew about this place. Well, more than 10 times out of 10, psychic found you. So when you answer the gift, yeah, remote viewing is real. When you answer the gift of spirit, you have a lot of gifts, baby. You ain't got to be afraid of nobody looking for you. They afraid of you. That's why they're trying to take you out. for me in New York? And then we're going to get to this 3-5 ticket card. What is your fears? Who's looking for me in New York? 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 The Fool and the Chariot. Okay. And the Queen of Cups. Okay. Who's looking for me in New York? Hold on. Let me understand. I'm about to just Oh, this person trusts me. White rose. The white rose stands out. Okay, okay. Somebody trustworthy. Somebody needs somebody to trust looking for me. So it ain't no evil ass people looking for me. Not no more. They dying. um, somebody who wants to be free. They somebody who's naturally free. Okay. Somebody who wants somebody they can trust. Okay, and then we got Queen of Cups. Somebody who's very naturally nurturing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You do your thing, boo. Well, when you find me, you'll find me. Follow the North Star, baby. Regal. Somebody who's very regal. Somebody who's influential. Well, honey, when you find me, baby. It'll be the right time. Don't rush. Everything at the right time. Now we're about to get into this 3-5 picker card called What is Your Fear? Started at 52 minutes and 5 seconds. We got 3 pals, all right? Now it's interesting for you to know because to understand how to get stop your enemies in their tracks of defeating you, you can do incantations to summon your fears, all right? So if you still want to continue with this, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm doing something in my own fears. You understand? I'm not just like, we're going to summon your fears. We're going to summon your fears. No, summoning mine too. You know, I got fears my own self. In fact, I love my fears so much. I try to face every last one. I like to have conversations with my fears. I like to be like, hey, yo, what's up today? What's up with you today? What you want to tell me today, boo? uh, I'm best friend with my fears. I'm like, yo, boo, what you want to talk about today? Well, how about this? Because I'm getting frustrated and you trying to understand this whole thing and it ain't working. How about this? How about this? Let's get the truth about it. So, podría se no. All right. Let's get into it. Power 1 starts at 53, 50, 40, 55. Okay. Power 1. Power 1 spheres. Okay. That's a sword. Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You got 4 swords. It's time to relax. Find a sunny spot and settle in for hours of snoozing. Whether you're mentally worn down or just in need of some belly scratching, this is a good time to conserve your energy and recharge. It may look like you're being lazy, but being still allows your mind to do the work it needs to. So, power 1, what I'm picking up, your fear is you're afraid of being able to naturally attract things to you, and it's because you have seen how viscerous people can become if you naturally attract things to you. You've seen, you have, it's like in the moment of time you have by yourself, you see how easy it is for you to just be happy and at peace. So maybe there's some codependency that needs to be healed within you. Because when you're around codependent, it's like that codependency and you coagulate. But really, it's just source saying, hey, challenge that codependency. It's just an addiction. You're stronger than the addiction of codependency. Maybe you're afraid of what's gonna happen if you officially fully break away from codependent people. And you might be, you might actually be away from codependent people. But there's a fear that's like, how dark can people go with you just being in your light? I think one of your fears is you want to recharge and just be as light as a feather, but you understand how dark the world can go. So to sum this fear up, I think that you're afraid to simply be, because you're not used to it. It's not really you so much afraid of other people. I really feel more so you're afraid of what is it gonna be like to be in your own skin. We'll find out, pal. One, okay, and we're gonna find out what is your enemy fear. I'm gonna just Queen of Wands and Five of Wands. What I'm picking up here, your enemy fear is not having the support of the outside world. Your enemy's fear is of giving in to codependency in every form of fashion. So they try to hide it with false illusions of grandiosity, but they're afraid of giving in to codependency because they know how dangerous codependency is. All right, baby. So now we're going to go to pile 257. My phone's dying, so I'm going to get these out, and then I'm going to um recharge and rest up. I wonder what pile I'm gonna choose. I wonder. You can guess it correctly. I'll give you a free reader. Trust your intuition, baby. So pile two. What is pile two's fear? Ace of Pentacles, and this looks like Two of Pentacles. Okay. Pentacles. Yeah. Tides are changing. You have some decisions to make. Oh, you guys are afraid. Like when you say change, it's more so the unknown. Like you're used to certain things happening a certain way. And I really feel you're adventurous, but at the same time, you really want to know how far adventure can take you, and you're being offered a new beginning. Like you naturally just cultivate new beginnings, proud to. It's your time to go after these new beginnings. What I'm picking up your fear is, one may say the unknown, but how happy you can truly be. Go find out, pal two. Let's find out what your enemy's fear is. How happy can you truly be, pal one? Two, pal two, okay. Your enemy's fear, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands. Your enemy's fear is you having everything that you deserve. Because it just exposes to them how empty inside they feel. Your enemy's fear is really truly feeling how empty that they feel. That has nothing to do with you. All right, ladies. Because the phone is running low, I'm about to go to power sleep. I hope that helps you guys. So when you're starting to notice, when you're focused on yourself, your fear is something about you, but you're meant to explore it. And then when somebody else's fear is about you, then that means you're focusing on others, and that's not healthy. Okay. So pile three, 1 hour and 15. This is fun. Okay. Hey, pile one. What's your biggest fear, or what's your fear? Four of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups. So I feel like you're afraid of making mistakes. You're afraid of being exploited and taken advantage of. But with all the experience that you have of abuse, Pile 3, you actually have more wisdom than the abusers. Abusers choose not to learn. They just keep choosing to make the same mistakes. However, you fearing the humanness about you, maybe you should, get connected to your skin deeper. Find ways to just be human while enjoying the spiritual experience. Let's look at your enemy's fears. Your enemy's fear is the scholar. They're mirroring you. They're afraid of not having stability, and they're afraid of making the wrong choices too. So you can move ahead of your enemy by taking the chances that they wouldn't take. Okay, and we're gonna conclude it. I'm gonna clean the cards, and I wish you lovely souls the best. Have a great day.